to dive into today, guys, as you know, we did one of these a couple of weeks ago, and it was so successful. I turned to David, who runs our account, and said, "We've got to do another one as soon as possible." And if you were here 2 weeks ago, you know the drill, which is we're giving $20 away to anyone today who asks a live question on today's Twitter Space. Preface is no airdrop questions and no how do I connect my wallet, like customer support questions. If you have those, go to the app, ask the question in the app, and we have a fantastic customer service rep who will be able to help you there as well. And here's how it's going to work. One, if you're on the space now, fantastic, you are in the running. Two, to then ask a question, you need to raise your hand. Now, this is not to be confused with the emoji hand, but there is a little microphone button that you need to push, and it says request to speak, and you can push that, and that will signal to David, who's the host here, and that you can come up and ask your question. And we would love your question to be focused on product, on upcoming features, on the roadmap, on anything around the white paper, anything where you have any questions that you want Ignacio to fill the gaps in. And if you want, once you kind of come up, we'll bring a few people up, and if you mute yourself straight away and then unmute yourself once you're asked the question. But I do want to give people some quick updates in terms of what's been happening in the life of Bondex in the last 2 weeks. So one thing was, if you were in Madrid this week, you have seen our co-founder Martin and our Web3 career ambassador Javier at the job fair in Madrid. That was really cool. They did a presentation on how to break into Web3, and we're doing another in real life meetup in London this Monday. So if you are in London, come along to Crypto Mondays, meet the Bondex team. I think Ignacio, you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Come on. And it's at a very fancy location as well. I'm not sure if they've announced it yet, but it's right in Liverpool Street at a swanky office. So we'll be there with the team, and we're going to be doing a lovely activation there as well. So you can come meet Ignacio and meet the rest of the team as well, and maybe ask your questions in real life, but you won't get $20 for asking any questions there. Instead, you actually walk away with a lovely professional headshot, which would be good. Yeah. Anything else you kind of want to kind of share, Ignacio, before we open the floor? Because I know we've got a lot of people here on the call. We've got 40 people wanting to ask questions. We've got 120 questions in the chat. But before we dive into the questions, Ignacio, anything else you want to share with the community? Any updates?
No, just that I've been in Asia for an extended period of time across Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, also Tokyo, as well as all incredibly different places. That's where our expansion efforts are going to be over the next 12 months, as well as Europe, but lots of activation events. So we're going to be building our communities there. There's some of the most exciting crypto maxi territories in the world. Regulations changing in Japan, lots of cool things coming. Very excited to be going into those territories. Very exciting for our product roadmap and some of the people joining the team soon. And apart from that, nothing. It looks like the market might be going into a bull run in December. Who knows? Happy to see this turnaround and this better vibes in the market.
Come on. Yeah. I think it's been a really interesting few weeks, hey, in the market. I saw the thing around, who was it now? MicroStrategy's market cap, is less than their Bitcoin holding, which is, I don't understand how that worked, but in some interesting moments happening in the Twitter sphere.
Absolutely. I think there's definitely on a macro level, which is a topic I enjoy, right? I was an ex-investment banker for a long time and studying private equity, and that's obviously out of a passion for finance. So even though I'm not a trader, I'm not always in the markets, I do like macro. And some scary things are happening in terms of recession, not recession. And we at Bondex, obviously, we don't predict the future. We don't have a crystal ball, but we like to also be prepared for whatever happens in the market, adapt to it, and navigate it. We've already done it once. We are children of the deep bear market. That's when the tough companies get made. That's when the tough companies come out of. That's when you have sustainable business models, and that's us in a nutshell. Yeah, some scary things, but what I would say is, don't look too much at the charts. Don't look too much at crypto Twitter. When everyone, the famous quote is, when there's blood on the streets, that's when you need to be greedy. And when everyone's being greedy, that's when you need to be.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And when it comes to Bondex as well, we had a couple of things. I did want to just touch on them before we open the questions. So guys, we'll open the questions in literally 2 minutes. But I think I'd love to touch on the talent pool. And we've spoken about it before, Ignacio, but we've basically opened up the beta this week, or kind of last week, for early testing, bringing in some companies. I'd love, Ignacio, to kind of to help us understand, why is the talent pool important to Bondex, and what even is the talent pool?
I'm gonna talk about why it's important, but Paul, I also want you to go into more details about the features of what it's going to entail, how is it V1, how is it going to evolve. But essentially, we have been, in a way, Bondex, as we've built it, was talent marketplace, right? As we built this professional network, the essential part was building a marketplace, right? The vision is a full-fledged professional network, but essentially marketplace marketplace building is a matching of supply and demand. The demand coming from companies looking for talent, the supply coming for a really great talent pool that companies can come in and hire. For a long time, we decided not to make this a publicly accessible talent pool as we were building it. Why? We wanted to make the product really, really good. The profiles, the AI, that you want to go through a period of iteration and test. So for a long time, we were only making them available to the companies to go see candidates, apply to jobs, but they couldn't go search the entire database of talent. Now, I'm proud to say we are by far the leading largest talent pool of verified builders in this space. And now it goes into the next stage, which is, okay, well, how do they get discovered? How can they use this as their public professional identity, their digital reputation? How can they be discovered? Well, we need to give accessibility. So the main point and goal of the talent pool is, number one, to essentially give public access for people to see the builders in this space. But we don't want more spam. We don't want more noise. We're not building like all the other places. It's going to be in a sustainable way in which meaningful interactions are championed. So we're going to do things very, very differently than other places. But now this is why it's important to build and claim your profile and build your reputation. Everyone's going to be able to, see how much of a badass you are. But that's the why, right? But I'd love to, Paul, for you to dive deeper into, what is it going to look like? What are some of those features in V1? What are some of the features we're planning?
Yeah, great. I think we get asked a lot, how do I get a job? Often it's their first job or if they're looking for their next role as well. We have across all our sites, around about 2 million hits. I'd say 99% of those are people coming and saying, where's the next opportunity that I can step into? And the way we see it, there's two ways of doing that. Way number one is you can create a CV and you can hit apply. And the more you apply, it can be a numbers game. People can find out about you that way. The other way is that you are discovered. And so a lot of people build their kind of personal brands. You might be doing this on Twitter, trying to show that, hey, I'm really into crypto or I'm really good at this certain space. But what we really want to go deep on is how do we create the ultimate way for Web3 talent to get discovered? And that's really the heart of the talent pool, which is we have so many incredible community members, so many incredible people in this Bondex ecosystem. We have the number one job boards, the most visited job boards in the world for Web3. And we want to bring the two together. And we really believe that if you want to get discovered for your next role in Web3, the number one place to do that is Bondex. And the best way you can get discovered is by adding more detail to your profile. So linking your LinkedIn, importing your CV, and then verifying, adding your reputation. Because one of the issues in Web3 is there's a lot of fakes. And Gartner reckons that by 2028, 1 in 4 job applications will be from a fake profile. And so this is becoming a huge issue. And the reason there's going to be more and more fakes is AI is so easy to use to create a fake profile, to then, mass apply to thousands of jobs all at once. And so the employers are facing a crisis of how do I know who's real, which is one problem, and then how to know who's any good. And the talent pool for us is the beginning of the solution to that problem. And we'll be recommending people from that talent pool for jobs that exist on Web3 Career, on remote. With the talent pool, we are incredibly excited around bringing talent to the surface. And that talent, they can be wherever. So if it doesn't matter where you're based, we really believe that your reputation should lead the way, and that if you've done great work, it should be signaled. And the talent pool for us, we believe it will become the number one way you will get discovered for your next Web3 role. And we're very excited about it. And so far, what we've built is pretty phenomenal. It's already the world's largest Web3 talent pool. And we've got some of the biggest and best companies all using it in beta. And we can't wait to see the results of that as talent starts getting discovered and hired. But I think unless there's anything else you'd like to add, Ignacio, I am really keen to open this up to the community. There's a lot happening with Bondex, a lot even happening with the token. And there's a lot to digest as well in the white paper and the documents. We would love your questions for Ignacio. And so, David, I'm going to ask you to start bringing people up one by one. I think we will go with the first question. And remember, the way this works is if you'd like to ask a question, you've got a microphone button. You just need to push that to request to speak. And then when you are brought up, once you're brought up, just make sure you're on mute initially, because David will bring a few people up all at once. And then once you ask your question, just press mute. It just helps everything. And then it makes it easier for Ignacio. Okay, so first up, we've got Phil Foden. If this is the real Phil Foden, amazing. But Phil, you are up. If you want to ask your question straight to Ignacio. Okay, I'm sorry, Phil. We're going to go to the next one. We're going to go to Dr. Dragoth. You want to unmute your bot?
Bondex now support KYC social proof and on-chain key details we will see decentralized identity, DID, or southbound criteria added in the future.
So the way that we are building our professional identity, right, is that it's mixed with profile. Eventually, it'll be mixed with an account, essentially a wallet, right? And so the way to think about it in terms of what will come next is that we wanted to give people optionality in how to verify different things, right? So there are four initial categories. Are you a human? Second, what is your professional experience or some signals about your professional capability? Number three, Web3 nativeness. And number four is your socials, right? So you ask DID solution. So actually, we already provide decentralized KYC solution via Didit. So if you want a KYC via Didit, it's free. It's our first provider and it's completely decentralized. What does it mean by being decentralized? Number one, we use a CK Oracle to verify this on ourselves. That means it creates an attestation that is then on chain, bridging between Web2 off chain data and then making it on chain. And it's all done via a CK Oracle zero knowledge proof. Not to get too technical, but essentially zero knowledge CK TLS technology preserves privacy. But then what it does and why it's decentralized, is that your documents are not stored in some database, central database that can get hacked. It's actually in a decentralized storage way. And not even the Didit people have access. They just submit the documents, it gets verified, it gives a signal, yes, this is the person who it is, and we move on. So it's already decentralized.
Can I ask my one more question?
Yeah, of course.
What is your target audience? It's my small question. And what is your target country? That's my question.
Target audience. The audiences in Web3 vary greatly. But the particular thing about when you have a token as a company is that there's essentially two distinct audiences, right? One is traders, right? Speculators, people that are going to buy and hold the token. And then the second, which is the more important, is the people who use our product. And our audience is twofold. One, job seekers, anyone looking for a job, anyone looking for economic opportunities. Number two, companies looking for talent. So that is the audience of the product. Now, the beautiful thing is creating a sustainable flywheel in which audience number two, the ones that use the product and service, are also token holders. Those are the audiences that we're going after and that the project is important for.
Thank you so much for your question. Thank you. Okay, next up, we're going to bring up Tricon.
So my question, ambassador play a very important role in every project. Do you have ambassador program? That's it my question.
We don't have ambassador programs yet, but it's a great question, right? The way that we are going to do, our goal is to corner the entire market for Web3 builders, right? And that requires building community. Now, even though everyone is obsessed with, let's say, how do you say? Everyone is obsessed with anonymity and privacy in Web3, right? We all meet in person around the world in conferences, hackathons, meetups, all over the world. And the best way to build communities is actually in real life. I just experienced this firsthand, right? The meetings that I had in Asia, building trust, building relationships, you cannot replace that with a Zoom call. You got to take the flight. You got to do it in person. So we want to establish ambassador programs in different countries to manage and build the communities in those countries by having events that add value, like hackathons, like for example, and also partnering with existing ones, meetups, like for example, Crypto Mondays, who are co-sponsoring the event with Crypto Mondays London this coming Monday.
Tycon, I'll just add one more to that as well, which is we do actually have, if you go to the link in our bio, oh no, actually we removed it. We might add this back. We do have a kind of a waiting list for the ambassador form. We're going to add that up after this call and onto our link tree. And so if you do want to become an ambassador, if anyone here wants to become an ambassador, you can just go to the link tree, which is the link in our bio, and you can click on that and apply. So they're a great question, and it's definitely something that we're thinking about. Okay, next up, I'm going to bring up Akira. Akira, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, I want to ask. You recently introduced job fees that are supposed to fund the BDXN buybacks. Yeah. So when exactly will the first buyback happen, and how much has been collected so far? And will the bot tokens be burned or sent to a community-controlled wallet? Yes. Did you get that question?
I got the question. It's a great question. It's we can announce exact timings. The reason for exact timings is, for example, in traditional finance, if you announce it exactly of a buyback, it could trigger people to front fund it and then buy the stock ahead of time. So you have to be careful with disclosing information that could be considered insider information, right? We do things above board here at Bondex, right? So the buyback program, it's going to be start once we get above cash flow positive on the operating side of the company. We're scaling our revenues. I believe we're no longer than, I would say, 6 to 9 months to get to cash flow positive. However, we have a healthy treasury. We might begin buybacks before that. And in terms of how much and when, I cannot disclose those things. but they need to be amounts that are sustainable. And it's a twofold mechanism. In the beginning, it's just going to be buy and burn. But in a second stand, once our full token economy is fully developed, part of the governance system, the way it works is part of it goes, part of the tokens or USDC or from the revenue fees that we generate from the talent platform goes to the token holders that stake the tokens, and 20% goes to buy and burn. So that's the stages. First, we're going to go into buy and burn buybacks, and then eventually also, redistribution of tokens, and then buybacks as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Akira. Great question. Okay, Mike, do you want to unmute yourself and fire away?
Yeah, so I just want to ask regarding the BDXN token, what concrete utilities does it unlock on the platform, and what is the supplier lockup schedule? And also, how does the token plan for aligning its token incentive with long-term platform health?
Okay, so these are questions that require, these are really long explanations. The best source is to go to our website or go to the token economy. We actually have a full kind of analysis and even a simulation done by Space and Time that is interactive, that shows a very sustainable, built for longevity tokenomics in terms of distributions. If you see it, it's very gradual, right? So investor unlocks, everything else, it's very long-term frame. For example, the team is, I think our cliff is about 15 months, and then there's another 24 to 36 months of vesting. So it's very gradual, right? So even investor unlocks, I believe they just started for some of the pre-seed seed investors. And you can see that, there's very few claims and additional tokens that are unlocked and claimed. So on the distribution side, we've designed really superb tokenomics. They can be seen in our white paper and our token economy paper. In terms of, and the second part of the question, what was it again?
Yeah, how do you plan to sustain the token long term to align with the platform health?
Yeah, so I truly believe that you need a sustainable business model. That's the only way to survive. Unless you were one of the projects that launched in 2017 and made it big, or in 2021, and you're able to raise a big treasury that will generate enough yield from stables that then you can just buy your token over time and control the supply and all of that, and then it's sustainable. Great. Those days are gone. The only companies that are going to last for a long time are those that have a sustainable business model, that generate revenue, that generate enough revenue to buy back your token and burn it or redistribute it in a sustainable way. That's what we are building, right? We make money from companies looking for talent, and we have more use cases coming up. And the more revenue that we generate, the more of the tokens that we'll do through buybacks. And that is how you have a sustainable token economy. When your products and services have a flywheel that impacts the token value. That's how we planned for long-term sustainability.
Really good. Now, we're going to keep going with the questions, but we're also going to create a new way as well for users, for our community to be able to earn here. And we're going to try something this week. And this week, we think the last one of these we did was really good. And we're kicking this week off with a community clip competition, and it's going to be open to everyone here. How it will work is after this, we're going to share a Google Drive link on our socials, and so on Telegram and Discord, with all the assets from today's AMA and our recent spaces. And we'd love you to grab those files, cut your clip, and post it on TikTok, Reels, Shorts, or here on X. And the prizes are going to be pretty simple. Top 3 clips ranked by engagements, how many likes and views you get, will get 50, 30, and 20 US dollars. We've also got an emerging creator prize for anyone with with not that many followers. And basically, if we retweet you, we're going to give you $20 for every retweet that we do, which is great. So we're just kind of trialing this out, seeing if it works. I think people should be rewarded if you kind of take the time to create some great clips, especially from this content. And we want to trial this and see how it works. So it's going to be real interactions only. The competition will be running till Friday next week, and you want to keep the clips vertical, add captions if you can, a small watermark, and everything that you need will be on the link that will follow under this. But I'm going to get back to the questions, and David, hopefully we've got some new speakers up. We do. And next up, I'm going to invite Kim. Kim, do you want to ask your question?
All right, thank you very much for selecting me. Basically, my question goes like this. Community members normally use their referral earnings to buy and hold BDXN at a certain price here. Is there any specific support or recovery plan you have for these loyal users?
Recovery plan, as in if they've lost their funds?
Yeah, I think based on the prices for now, not to say much, I think there are significant losses. So is there a recovery plan or specific support for these loyal people who are there?
If there's a recovery, because it's usually, we don't have a native wallet. So if something needs to be recovered, right, I believe that needs to be handled with a wallet provider more than us. But if you mean is how are we gonna, yeah, we had a bit of a tumble in the market. We've been analyzing why, and there's some fuckery going on the perps. If you look at it, we've alerted Binance because we believe that, this was a bit of an attack, someone probably pumping and doing or shorting really aggressively and things like that. And we've alerted them, and hopefully those accounts get frozen and the shorts free up, and things begin to more smoothly, because we're really stable around 45 to 50 valuation range. And that's one of the plans, how we plan to defend it. Every time we see like a price drop that we think that is not organic, like just market dynamics or trends, we will be working with our partners, like our market makers as well as exchanges, to make sure that people that hold the token are protected. And in terms of everything else, we're just going to be working extremely hard to build this project into the long term and build an absolute monster of a company, and that will be reflected in its valuation. No financial advice, but that's how we plan to fight for you. We've been here for almost 5 years now, and we're just getting started. We're going to be here for 100 more. My exit plan is dying.
So good. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, Trent, baby, you are up. Just unmute yourself and ask your question straight away.
So straight to my question, like how does the Bondex plan differentiate its talent marketplace from a traditional Web 2 platform at AI automated, like more hiring workflows and reduce retiring involvement?
Why? Like, how are we going to compete with AI? We have AI. We already have AI matching, filtering. We have AI career coaching. We have AI that helps you fill out applications. We have tons of AI, and actually amazing AI. How do we plan to differentiate? Where is our defensible differentiator moat? Our data is on chain and it's verified. We have verified resumes, verified on-chain resumes. All of these other marketplaces, they're doing the things that, okay, AI is great at, matching, going through large amounts of data. Guess what? If that data is crap, if that data isn't verified, I can claim that's the big problem with the internet. It's not built for trust. Everyone claims a million things on their LinkedIn. It's plagued with fraud, same as AngelList, same as all of the other platforms. Everyone is lying on their resumes, and then there's a bunch of people posting fake jobs. Guess what you can do once you've been KYC'd, once you have an on-chain? That data is superior. Therefore, our AI is going to be able to offer more trusted, superior results.
Let me add on that as well, Ignacio, because I feel like he's absolutely right with the question that AI is now actually becoming a real way that users are now, it's changing how users apply for jobs. And there's a lot of use cases, but we are seeing a huge increase in job applications because of AI. So whereas applications used to get maybe a couple of hundred applications, now they're getting a couple of thousand. And it's because there's a lot of people now using using different AI tools to basically spray out CVs, and just in the hope that somebody sees them. And it's not always necessary, or it is not really effective. And so it's actually becoming harder for the employee, so for the employer, the hiring manager, to actually discover who's real and who's not. And so that's really where Bondex comes in, which is it's going to really help you get discovered, because one, it's a trust signal that you're a real human being. Two, it's a trust signal that you have a great reputation. And so you should be kind of brought to the top of the pile. And I would imagine a world where in the future, everyone has an AI that applies to them, but it has to apply using a trusted source of truth. And because everyone's writing fake resumes, everyone's writing fake cover letters. And so now, like, how do you stand out? And that's where Bondex stands, to not necessarily compete against AI, but really differentiate itself against what AI can do and its power and what it's great at and what we're building as a platform. So great question. I'm going to load up now to, Professor Morty.
Could you give us a sneak peek into integrations and partnerships you are planning in the future? What partnerships do you have?
I don't like to overpromise, but for example, the largest identity player in the space is going to be coming on board, and we're going to be building an app within their mini app ecosystem. You can look at the top 3 chains. We're going after one of them as well, in terms of we want to be chain agnostic, so it requires being a little bit of political maneuvering. We want to stay away from being like, oh, that's the Solana talent marketplace, that is the base marketplace, because then that prevents you from the communities and the companies within other ecosystems to access your services. So, the real answer is our core and next partnerships are with educational providers and KYC providers, DID providers. Why is educational providers really important? Proof of education, like getting educated, has one purpose, apart from gaining knowledge, obviously, is usually to get a job, right? To be more marketable in the marketplace. So there's a bunch of, there's so much education on Web3, provided a wide range of ecosystems and educational providers, we're going to be providing with a solution to have all those credentials and accreditations and educational credentials on chain and then seeing on our website. Some of these are part of the Animoca portfolio, Animocaverse, that we are part of. They're one of our large investors. So you can go dig around there and guess who I'm talking about. But I don't like to talk about what's in the pipeline. I prefer to execute and then announce, which is very unlike other projects that, they like to announce things and then they never actually happen.
Very good. Okay, now next. Oh, we don't have another speaker. David, can we bring some more speakers up and we'll get on that? And whilst David's bringing that, just a reminder, guys, about the competition. We're running the competition for anyone who clips this space. So if you want to turn this into a video, the top 3 videos are going to be rewarded with $50, $20, and $100. And then we're also going to reward anyone as well with, if we do retweet it, with a $20 straight fee to retweet, which is super exciting. So if you're pretty good on the video tools and you want to turn this AMA into a video, straight after this space, we'll be giving you all the links to do that, some resources to do that, our logo, branding, and then the audio as well. So we're going to give this a little trial and see if it works. Okay, next up, Antonio, unmute yourself and ask your question.
My question is, what does community feedback play in the development of your project? My question, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Community development. So we have actually already started doing product surveying with a select group of people across different audiences. So job seekers, recruiters, HR companies, existing clients, and they're all part of our community, right? And so what we do is we test features with them. We get their feedback, and that then helps us prioritize the roadmap, prioritize the experiments and what we do next. So that's how we're involving our community and our real users into the product development of the Bondex platform.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Antonio. All right, next up is JEX. Jex.
I want to know, how do you intend to make the projects globally and also reach out to non-English speaking users?
So that's a great question, actually. That's something that, as for example, we're planning to go into Asia. We realized that we need to localize all of our websites and platform, right? Which is now Bondex, our mobile app, Web3 careers, Remote 3, the job boards. I realized is that you think in the day of AI, you think that you would just click a button and translate your own website and now boom, magically it's available in any language. Actually, it's not that easy. It's about 8 to 10 weeks of development work that we've already started on. And once you change the architecture of the website to handle multiple languages, then it's much easier to do. And so we're about to launch, I think it'll be ready basically by Q1, localized language websites in each country.
Really good. Yeah, it's a lot of work ahead for that, which is going to be great. But guys, we're going to wrap this up now after this one last question. And this is going to come in from Fee5. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
My question is, the AI-powered matching sounds great. Job matching AI often fails without real context. What unique signals or data does Bondex analyze that make your matching engine actually useful for both candidates and employers?
Man, this is something that we need Kyle, our head of data and AI, to answer. It's highly technical. And to be honest, what we're releasing next, which is like a new generation of our reputation system, it's highly complex, multi-ledgered. Depending on the job people are going after, different things are weighed. It's really, really complicated, but it's a mix of things. And the more things you verify, the higher your reputation goes, right? But some of the things that are important is that between blockchain, AI, and the things that we ask, we go way beyond a normal resume. A normal resume is just like a bunch of brand names. Then people filter you, then they get you into an office, and then they ask you questions to test if you actually know what you say you do. By doing things like, for example, a HackerRank test, and that issues you an on-chain credential that you are actually capable of coding in XYZ language or XYZ skill, you're already skipping that level of filtering. And that's why our filtering is superior, right? And that will provide you, for example, in the category of builder or coder or, engineer, that will provide you more credibility in that specific area. It's, again, pretty complex. We're trying to simplify it as possible and make it look super, super clean, but it's multi-ledgered and there's many categories that go into it. I wish Kyle was here to explain in really, really organizing detail.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, I think when we think about how do you codify a CV and how do you think about, what makes a candidate stand out and what makes them good, that's a massive problem to solve. And it's something that Kyle is spending a lot of time thinking about and we as a company are spending a lot of time thinking about. And when you start going deep on that, there are a lot of data points that you can pull from about the candidate. Some data points are publicly available. Same with the company, lots of data points available about the company. And then there is a lot of stuff that we think about around about verification and how do you verify that someone's, worked where they've worked and done what they've said they've done. And if they have verified it and it is true, then that's a big deal. And yeah, we're thinking about this a lot. So more to share on that very soon, unfortunately. So we look forward to kind of sharing a real detailed approach to what we're doing here. But with that, we're going to bring this space to an end. I want to thank everyone for joining. It's been a really good space, some great questions, and a great reminder as well here just to say, if you do want to have another opportunity to be rewarded from Bondex, then we are rewarding anyone who makes a video clip of this. And if we retweet it, you get $20. Or if the video does really well and you're able to get some incredible engagement on it, then we'll also reward you as well. So just trying that out with this one for the next week. So feel free to go ahead and do that and look out for the for all the assets that you'll need will be given after this call, after this AMA. So big thank you to everyone for joining. And Ignacio, I'm going to hand over to you for any kind of final thoughts or final comment.
I just want to thank absolutely everyone that tuned in to listen to us. It makes me extremely proud of what we're building and also our resilience through markets up and down and all around. Bondex is a safe bet through any market conditions because we're experiencing and navigating despite the markets, away from the markets. What matters is fundamentals, and we're building a company and a business completely focused on fundamentals. And again, once again, thank you to our community to tuning in again. We'll keep doing AMAs. Help us spread the word. Help us spread the talent revolution. We're here to change the fucking game.
Awesome. Thank you guys. See you on the next one.